Hey everybody, it's Dustin here again, and I'm here to tell you a story about my adventure over the last 2 years, 2 ski seasons, of getting into backcountry skiing. I've been an avid downhill skier for my entire life. I'm 23 years old now, and I started skiing at 16 months. And I've been in skiing for a long time. But anyway, last season, a friend of mine decided that we needed to get into backcountry skiing. And to give you a little brief on what backcountry skiing is, instead of just going to an area and riding the lift all day and getting in lots of runs, you actually go further out into the wilderness and you earn your turns, or you hike to get to the top of the mountain in order to ski down. So anyway, last season we were waiting for our local ski area to open, and wasn't getting there, but the Cascades at our back door was getting lots and lots of snow. And everybody's talking about their grand adventures skiing the wonderful Cascade terrain, and we didn't go because we didn't have the right equipment. And so my buddy got the correct equipment to go, but I didn't have quite what I needed, and so he says, well, you just need to get a whole new setup. Okay, fine. So I spent all this time and money to get a full new setup, and I got all my gear. Alright, let's do this thing. Well, we got busy, and then he decided that we needed a snowmobile, and I didn't have a snowmobile, and he got one. Long story short, at the end of the season last year, we're both sitting there, and he happened to go one time, and I have not. So I went through a whole season and all this big uproar to get all this stuff, and I didn't get to go. So come this season, it's been a very harsh winter. We have had no snow all season, and the Cascades is like the only place in the entire Washington state that actually has snow. And so I'm like beating down the bush to go up there and go backcountry skiing. And my buddy Tom, I keep telling him, like, we need to go, and he's not wanting to go, and he finally says, well, you really need to get a few more things. Okay, fine. So I finally get my avalanche beacon, which is a little device that straps to you about here, and it puts out a radio signal, so if you do get buried, they can come at least find your body. I know, kind of sad. Anyway, I finally got the last final pieces, and I called up Tom, and I'm like, hey, I got my beacon, I'm ready to go. And he goes, well, you know, I really haven't got my snowmobile going, and we really need to do that, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, all right, look, buddy, we're going. Get that snowmobile going, and we're going on Saturday. Okay, so he says, I'm going to call some friends that go every day and talk to them. So he calls me back and he goes, well, got my snowmobile going, and he'd promised me a ride. That was part of the deal, is I was going to ride with him. He says, well, you know, I really don't know if it's going to work for the both of us, and do you think you could use your machine? I'm like, I don't even have a snowmobile, but my dad happens to have a large 4-wheeler with tracks on it. Well, I've never really taken it that far, and I don't really know where we're going, so I guess, but I hope we don't get stuck. So anyway, we finally get everything put together, get the machine loaded up, and it comes down to the day. And he goes, alright, we're going to meet just outside of Winthrop at the barn, big red barn. We're all going to meet there and drive up the road. So we meet at the barn at like 7:30 in the morning, and I'm the first one there, and the guys that are experienced backcountry skiers, they show up about 5 minutes after I do. So we all meet, greet, hey, how are you doing, blah, blah, blah. And then we wait, and we wait, and we wait, and 20 minutes later, Tom decides to show up. Apparently he was running late that day. We get up the road, and my machine, I unloaded out of the truck, get everything loaded. They come to you, oh, by the way, do you have some room for our stuff? Oh, can you take our buddy along with you? Oh, can you do this? Because apparently the 4-wheeler with tracks is just so grand, and it can haul everything. So now I'm loaded down like the pack mule, and get ready, and I'm like, all right, let's go. Get all of our stuff on, and I get up there, and Tom's snowmobile is still in the back of his truck. He can't get it started. And I'm like, oh my goodness, will this battle ever end? So we spent another 15 minutes getting Tom's snowmobile running for him, and loaded out of the truck. He's like, okay, I'm going to get my ski stuff on. So we're sitting there, and we run his snowmobile around to keep it running, because it hasn't been raining in a while. Another 15-20 minutes later, Tom comes up the road, ready to go. Now, Tom's a really good friend of mine. I don't mean to pick on him, but it was just a long battle. So, the battle hasn't ended yet. We start out at Silver Star, which is just at the bottom of the Cascades, and we drive another 10 miles up into the Cascades. There's the big horseshoe corner, and then there's Liberty Bell, and then there's a little rest area at the top, and we drive down the other side about a mile. And it's a beautiful clear day, blue sky, sun's out, we park alongside the road, and we begin our ascent up into the actual mountains. So we get our skins on, and we start out, and we start hiking up this hill with our skis and all of our stuff, and it's going pretty well, and our learning curve is quite steep because it's really, really cold, and so we're bundled up, but then you start moving and you're exerting a lot of heat, so you start taking off layers. So this is my first outing. Tom's been once before, and like I said, our learning curve is very steep on how to get up this mountain. And it's going pretty well. Our equipment's working properly, and we're skinning up the mountain, and then the conditions change. And it went from being able to easily navigate to can't move at all. It would take us sometimes 20 minutes to move 10 feet. What happened was we got about 6-8 inches of just complete pure sugar blow snow and a nice crusty ice layer underneath it. So you would set your ski down and there was no traction. Even with skins on, you had nothing. So after about 4 hours of moving minuscule amounts of ground, we were completely exhausted and dead. We've been going through these treacherous trees back and forth, and we never think it's going to end. So finally it's like, you know what, we've come this far, we've got to get up there. And our people that we're going with have hiked up the hill further, and we told them, don't wait for us, you guys go ahead and get your turns today. So we keep trucking along, and try as we might, we finally get above the tree line. And I get above the tree line, and it opens up into this vast open bowl, as far as you can see, of just completely untouched, crystal glistening snow. And I'm like, wow, this is what we're here for. This is what I've spent all this time doing to get to here. And I look up, and the people that we're with are probably 400 or 500 yards further up the hill, and they're making their first turns down through this fresh powder snow. Like, this is great, this is why we're here. Even though I'm completely exhausted and dead, I have to make it to hopefully there. So I take out my GoPro camera and I take some videos, and we keep hiking away, and they ski down and meet us, and they say, well, we'd like to get up there, but we're kind of running out of daylight, and we'd like to traverse across and ski down to get back to our machines to head back down to the mountain. So anything does happen up here, and we don't want to be stuck in the dark. We have daylight. Okay, that's fine. So we get about halfway up to where they are, and we traverse across the mountain. We get on this little bench, and we all get up, sit there and chat about how nice the day is, and this and that, and take some more pictures and videos, and we begin our descent down. And it was really nice because the conditions that day happened to be where we didn't have to worry about avalanches. So the guys that we were with, they said, we can all just ski down and do what we need to do. So I'd ski, and then we'd watch them come down, and they'd ski and watch each other, and we all kind of went down. Got back down to the machines and went back down the hill. I quickly learned out of all of this trial and error that backcountry skiing had a lot less to do about skiing and more about what I like to call an outdoor adventure day. There's a lot of puzzle pieces to this puzzle in order to go, and I've decided that if you just want to go skiing, you're better off just to go to the area. But if you want an outdoor experience, backcountry skiing is definitely something that's worth the effort. And even though it took me a very long time and a lot of things to put together, the work and wait was very much so worth it. So I'll add some videos that I took while I was up there that you can watch that goes along with what I just told you. Thanks for watching.